Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to week 4 of season 2 of the SBL. This week we are up against Angel, one of our new coaches, and his team, the New York Ninetales. There's no team builder for this one because, well, for two reasons. One, I didn't get to record it before the battle because time constraints, yada yada yada. And two, this battle is kind of long, so I'll try to dedicate as much time to the battle as I can, but real quick I'll go over his team and mine. As you can see, he brought the Mega Pidgeot, the Umbreon, who was his franchise pick. He got the franchise that from Agat's team. The Rotom Wash, the Excadrill, the Jellicent, and the Ditto. His Pokemon not appearing are the Landorus Incarnate, who is Sand Force only, no Sheer Force. The Araquanid, the Venusaur, who is his Z Captain, so no Z moves all around. He also didn't bring the Girder or the Regice. So yeah, it's a pretty good team. These are also the 6 Pokemon that Angel has brought to every single one of his battles so far, so Angel shows some more originality. I mean, no, I'm just kidding. And I'll quickly go over these 6 that I chose to bring. As you can see, no Garchomp, Arcanine, or Mew for the first time this season. Decided to give them a break because I didn't think I needed them for this one. Alright, real quick, Aggron here, Mega Aggron, he's standard, specially defensive with 2 attacks. Vaporeon is the same defensive spread I used against Arctis, with more of a support set as well. Roserade is also more of a supporting set with 2 attacks. Hitmontop here is a defensive Intimidate set this time. Togekiss making its season debut is Choice Scarf. And Lantern is, I think, bulky offense with the Shuka Berry for the Lando and the Excadrill. Alright, so with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get straight to the battle. As I constantly forget to put it on normal so you guys can watch it easily. Alright, to start off, he led with his Pidgeot, and I led off with my Lantern, so perfect lead opportunity for me there. And I see I went first here with my Volt Switch, which you'll see what the move he went for in just a moment as I switched on to, I believe, my Vaporeon, just so he could take a hit potentially. And he went for the Whirlwind. And I believe every single time he went for the Whirlwind, he got my Roserade, and like, well, I'm not going to keep my Roserade in on Mega Pidgeot, just so I can do that, Hurricane. So I switched back into my Lantern as he got confused from the Hurricane, as he switched into Excadrill. And I'm kind of glad I hit myself in the face this time, because I think I went for Volt Switch on that turn. And now I popped my Shuka Berry as I snapped out of confusion and got some damage off with the Scaldify. I did a decent chunk of damage. So I had the straight swap this time. And Hitmontop is my main switch into a lot of his Pokemon, actually. The Excadrill and the Umbreon, as you'll see later on. As he actually switches into Jellicent this time, and I predicted that switch and did not go for a fighting attack. I had both Close Combat and Mach Punch. So I just went for the Toxic here, and stupid screensaver keeps popping up. And obviously, I'm not going to keep my Hitmontop in on a Jellicent that it can't do anything against, so... And the Jellicent also can't do much to my Roserade, so I figured that was a pretty easy switch right there. As... I think I put something to sleep here. No, I just went for the Leech Seed because it was a free Leech Seed because he didn't bring his Venusaur. And at that point I was content to make the Umbreon go night-night, as he actually pops the Lumberry. Nice Lumbreon there. I'll see myself out for that fun. As he just pops out the Wish, I should have predicted that easy switch into the Pidgeot here. This went for a Dazzling Gleam because I didn't have Poison Stab. But now his Pidgeot has a lot more HP. And the obvious switch here is the Lantern, so I went to him as he went for another Whirlwind and went back into Roserade. Like, quit bringing out my Roserade, I don't want him in against you. And again I switched into Lantern, as he went for a Hurricane again. He probably could have killed me with that here, but he didn't. As he switched down to his Ditto. So hey, now we see Lantern versus Lantern. And now we see my Volt Switch ain't gonna do anything. I could have predicted that switch, but... at this point I was content to let my Lantern go down, maybe try to get a Scald Burn if I can, but spoilers, I didn't, and he killed me with an Ice Beam, so that's perfectly okay with me. I don't think I really needed Lantern much in the rest of this battle, and Roserade ended up being the key Pokemon in this battle because it could do so much against Angel's team. As we put the Umbreon back to sleep, and then we Leech Seed it. And so yeah, Umbreon's not looking too hot there, as he's just getting whittled down slowly but surely. And yeah, I think this Umbreon is actually the main reason I packed Dazzling Gleam on Roserade. And then what happens here? I put him back to sleep as he gets his HP back up. Yeah, that's mostly why this battle is so long, because I kept stalling. And Roserade, the stall machine. And now I send out Hitmontop because obvious reason is obvious, and then I actually pull a double here because I expect him to switch back into his Jellicent because he showed that was his main switch into my Hitmontop, so I went back into Roserade, as I predict that correctly. No, not I predict that incorrectly, as he actually switches out into his Ditto. He goes for a Leech Seed. I don't know if he was predicting me to switch or he just forgot that Grass type's going to be Leech Seeded. I think he actually forgot Grass type's going to be Leech Seeded, but that's okay. So I went for a Leech Seed on his switch, expecting him to do so. And that was on the Pidgeot, so that's cool. Now I decided to switch into Vaporeon, as it takes a pretty good chunk from Hurricane, because that's a Mega Pidgeot. Excuse me. As I believe I set up a Wish here, as he switches into his Jellicent yet again. That's exactly what I do, and on the next turn, I believe I click Baton Pass, as he... what does he do? Yeah, well, we'll see in just a second. I switch back into Roserade just in case he does some shenanigans, but he goes for the Toxic, which of course, you know, Roserade being a poison type is not going to get affected by the Toxic. So he switches back into Ditto, and I believe I don't predict that correctly, as I go for a Leech Seed. Yes, that's correct, but that's perfectly okay with me. Since Dazzling Gleam's not doing much to me, my Dazzling Gleam's actually doing more to him, because Ditto has less HP. So at this point, he switched back out. What did he switch into? His Pidgeot? Yeah. As I switched out into my Aggron, which was cool for me. As I Mega Evolved, and I actually go first here because he goes for the Whirlwind, and I kill him off with a Heavy Slam. Excuse me. As I believe that at this point in the battle, I think Angel, once his Pidgeot went down, I think that was his kind of concession. Because I think Pidgeot was kind of his... yeah, Pidgeot was actually his main win con once my Lantern went down. And then I just got rid of his win con, so... yeah, Mega Aggron doing what Mega Aggron does, as now we're looking at a Ditto Mega Aggron. At this turn, he goes for an Earthquake, doesn't do a whole lot, as I'm content to set up my Stealth Rocks, and then we Earthquake each other next turn, just because I want to see how much my Earthquake does to him. And so, yeah, Earthquake. Not doing a whole lot to each other, so I decided to switch out into my Togekiss, actually. Even though I had the Heavy Slam on my Aggron, I knew, or I assumed, he was Choice Scarf. So he's probably locked into the Earthquakes, so I figured that was a good time to get my Togekiss in, as I go for the Aura Sphere on this turn, as he switches into his Rotom Wash. Good switch on his part. And it doesn't take a whole lot from it. It's a decent-ish chunk. And so, Switch of the Year, Roserade is going to come back in here. Yeah, Roserade can switch into, like, every single one of his Pokemon now. And the Will-O-Wisp, I do not care about that Will-O-Wisp, because Roserade is running the Natural Cure this week. So, what do I do here? I guess the Excadrill is, I believe, I Sleep Powder? Is that what I do? No, I Leech Seed. I just rewatched this battle. I don't even remember what I did. So his Excadrill is Leech Seed, as I decide to switch out, getting my Natural Cure, and the obvious switch is Carlton, because Next Intimidate, as he goes for a Rapid Spin, which not only gets rid of my rocks, but it also de-Leech Seeds him. Because I was like, oh yeah, Rapid Spin does that. I actually forgot about that during the battle, not gonna lie. And I figured he was going to switch to Jellicent, but I went for Toxic anyway, because reasons. So at this point, I decided to switch back into, you guessed it, Roserade. Because Roserade made so many appearances in this battle, but that's perfectly okay with me. And this Jellicent's just sitting there getting whittled away by Toxic. Excuse me. And then Ditto comes back out, takes a Dazzling Gleam, and I think I switched out into something else here. Okay, he switches first into the Rotom. Like, why would you switch in your Rotom on a Roserade? So I just go for another Dazzling Gleam, and I think I went for a Giga Drain on the next turn, as he switches again, this time into the Umbreon. And his Umbreon is able to take that pretty well, actually. As I get off the Leech Seed, as he wakes up again, and gets up a Wish. And I believe he passes that Wish on to his Excadrill, as he gets back up to a reasonable amount of HP, as I Sleep Powder. I didn't care if the Umbreon got back up to full HP or whatever, because he was just going to keep getting whittled down by the Leech Seed, as the Excadrill is now taking a snooze, as I set up a Leech Seed. And then he's still snoozing as I get up a Giga Drain, which does enough to 2-hit KO him at this range, so I figure why not. But I actually decided to switch out into Vaporeon just in case Roserade couldn't take an Earthquake, but he actually goes for an Iron Head, which is not going to do anything to my Vaporeon here, as I believe he switches out and I set up a Wish. Yeah, he switches out into his Rotom. As I get up a Wish, and I actually go for a slow Baton Pass this turn, expecting him to Volt Switch so that I can get the momentum. But he actually goes for Will-O-Wisp. It's like, okay, that's fine. So I baton pass out, and I get my Aggron back up to full HP for free, just in case I need him for the rest of this battle, but spoilers, I don't. So, yeah. And then I double back out into the one I keep switching into, and he little misses again, because Roserade has a natural cure, I don't care about this. So I Giga Drain, that does a whole lot of damage to him. I think he Volt Switches. Is that what he does? No, he Hexes. Nice Hex tech right there. And so I believe he lets me kill him off with Giga Drain this turn, because at this point we're both kind of sick of this battle. Yeah, you see it's been going on for 2 turns. And then he goes into his... what is he going to? His Excadrill. Then we see if I can take an Iron Head / Earthquake. And if he goes for Iron Head, he could also flinch me. He does go for the Iron Head. I do not flinch, and I kill him off with a Giga Drain, not gaining much HP back, but that's okay. And then I believe he goes into his Umbreon at this point. Is that who he goes into? Yes, it is. And I believe my Giga Drain... no, I go for Leech Seed. I don't go for Giga Drain, as he shows Return on Umbreon. Now, Return Umbreon. To be honest, I'm kind of confused at that play, because Umbreon's not really much of an offensive threat. It's only got like base 60 or 65 attack. I mean, Roserade's not very physically defensive, even though I think I was running a more physically defensive spread. Actually with Roserade I had EVs in like every stat except attack. I love making stats like that. But, you know what, I digress. It didn't really matter that much. As I believe he just let me kill him off here with a Dazzling Gleam, is that what I killed him with? No, I killed him with Giga Drain, just to get a little more HP back, maybe. And then, since I figured he was going to switch off into Ditto to copy my Roserade, I believe I switched directly into my Togekiss to give it the last 2 kills. And that is exactly what I did. As he went for the Dazzling Gleam, it's not going to do a whole lot to my Togekiss. 24% is not bad. And here's where I hope he figured out I was Choice Scarf, because I gave my Togekiss more speed than my Roserade. What? So I kill off the Ditto, then the Jellicent. I could have flinched it to death, but no, he actually shows the tech Sludge Wave, which is pretty cool. And then I do not miss the second Air Slash, and then, well, crit didn't matter, and then I win the battle 5-0. So in case you guys are doing the math, that puts my record at 4-0 with a plus 19 differential. If I recall, I believe I was actually at that differential or close to it in Season 1 of the SBL by this point. Actually, I think my differential in Season 1 was plus 18 at this point, so I'm actually doing a little bit better this season, which is kind of cool on my part, but because to be honest, I have a grosser team this time. But Angel, I don't think he played bad, but he didn't necessarily play great either. There were some kind of questionable plays, honestly on both ends, but I think Angel has the potential to make a good comeback. Alright, and for our next battle, I say next battle because in real time in the SBL, there are some battles that need to be caught up on, so I'm actually using the next match week to let people catch up on their battles instead of keeping up with schedule or whatever. But regardless, our next battle is going to be against the creator of our SBL Season 2 logo, Yashu, who coaches the Synergy Stars, and at the time of recording this video, he was also undefeated. Ooh. A nice undefeated battle, so we'll see how that goes, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.